Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast channel where we discuss careers in tech and job search experience for immigrants in the US. I'm your host, Anna Naumova, an immigrant myself and a former product manager at Apple. I'm thrilled to be here sharing my knowledge and insights with you. Let's continue discussing various strategies for job search in the US. We have already heard about the strategy of selective and targeted job search from Victoria Rubanovich from Amazon, where she applied for only 40 positions that suited her the most. And if you haven't watched this video, please do. This is super inspiring. And today, we're going to drill into another strategy of applying to thousands of job openings, hoping that something will work. Do you think that hiring a personal assistant is a bad idea? Stay tuned. And please drop off a comment which strategy you use for your job hunt. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, please subscribe to my channel. Each week, I release a new video covering various topics about product management, job search, and immigration to the US. Your support is very important to me. And if you're interested in becoming a sponsor of this channel, or you need help with your resume in the US or LinkedIn profile, please visit annanaumova.com for more information. You can find the link to my website in the video description below. All right. My guest today is Anna Gordeeva, a former data analyst at TikTok. She's also a mentor and blogger. Anna moved to the US recently, and now she's actively looking for a job. Hi, Anna.
Hi, hello, Anna.
Hi, Anna and Anna. Yeah, are you Anna or Anna? That's the
I'm
most common
Anna.
question.
No,
Anna.
Anna,
Okay.
Anna.
You're Anna. Okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
there is a
pronounced
special
your
sound like
sound.
Anna.
Anna. Yeah. So I personally don't mind. But people ask me all the time, are you Anna or Anna? I think like just for me, like both are good for me. You can call me Anna or Anna. I understand that you mean like you understand, like you mean my name.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah.
when I tell that I'm Anna, I receive the comment like, where are you from? And when I say that I'm Anna,
Mm.
people think that, okay, I'm native.
Okay, perfect. So let's play native Anna and Anna today to Anna's. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And yeah, it's a pleasure to me talking to you and hear your exciting journey in the US. Can you please tell me about yourself? What are you currently doing?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a marketing and analytics professional with 6 years of experience. In my background, there is a work of TikTok. So I worked at TikTok as a senior marketing analyst, and as well I worked at Yandex again as a senior marketing analyst. And yeah, that was the first and the second sentence from my "Tell me about yourself" speech to the HRs. So as well, I'm blogger, so I post about my job searching process in the Instagram, and I communicate a lot with the people who are in the same position like me right now, in the same situation, and I try to find out different tips about how to do the job hunting in the United States.
Great, perfect. Yeah, and let's share it with us today. So you moved to the
Of
US
course.
recently. When did you start looking for a job? So how long have you been in the job market in the US?
Yeah, so I'm on the job market. I've been on the job market for 2 months, two last months. So I'm actively having a lot of interviews during this time.
And yeah, what do you think about it?
Oh, it's
Is it
challenging.
i-
So
is it your first is it your first experience of the job search in the US?
yes, yes, and on the international market as well. So it's extremely challenging. Of course, I have a lot of different emotions about this process. So sometimes I'm devastated, sometimes I'm really excited, happy, or angry. So it's hard to, to tell about like one emotion I have about this process. So I try to think about job hunting as a game. So there are different levels. Like level 1, you should find the resources, like prepare your resume, find the websites to do the applications. Level 2, when you have the screenings with the HRs, like the first rounds. Level 3, it is about having the technical interview. And level 4, it is the boss level, when you have the interview with the person who can do the decision about if you're worth hiring or not. So yeah, I try to think positively about the process and more about like it's a game rather than it's a real life.
Yeah, and even for people who've been living here for a while and have been interviewing for a while, it's still a very challenging market. And I think all of you, like all of us, are experiencing the same controversial feelings, like from anxiety, depression to excitement and happiness. So that's like absolutely common, I think, for all folks who's doing that right now, especially in
Yeah.
2023. All right. So yeah, tell me, but like you've been in the market for 2 months already. How's your job hunt going so far? Did you have any offers or so, something exciting?
Yeah, so I received one offer, job offer, and that was after 2 weeks of my first application sent. So I thought like, wow, it was too fast because I was not prepared for this. When I came to the United States, I realized that finding the first job here, it would be an extremely hard and long process. So yeah, I was extremely excited about having that job offer, but I declined it.
Let's discuss about it a little bit later. It's super like interesting teaser for you all to just keep watching this video and understand why Anna declined this offer. So let's talk about your job search strategy. Can you please share your job search approach? What exactly do you do? I know that you have a lot of interesting like activities around that.
Yeah, of course. So my approaches, um, they changes like every 2 or 3 weeks. So when I just started looking for a job, I thought like I should make the KPIs to understand if I'm doing a successful job searching or not. So I thought that, okay, how many applications should I do? And I decided that it should be 10,000 of applications sent to the employer.
10,000 application. Yeah, hit the like button to support this lady.
Yeah, so 10,000 applications. As well, I decided that, okay, I should have 1 to 200 of screenings. So like the first round with the recruiters, like the tell me about yourself questions. So, and I wanted to have 2 to 5 job offers from those screenings. So that was my KPIs. And the timeline, I decided that I should find a job in 5 months. So
Okay,
so 5 months, yeah.
So how many application do you have right now? How many did you apply so far?
So when I was looking for when I did this approach, when I started doing this approach, I did 1,200 applications. So there was as well 10 screenings, so maybe 11 screenings, and one job offer. So that
For
was
2 months,
better.
yeah. Okay.
No, not 2 months, 2 weeks, and only 2 weeks.
Oh, at the beginning. Okay. Okay. By like today, because you mentioned that you're already on the
Oh,
job
by
market for
today.
2 months. Yeah. How many
Mhm.
application have you applied so far?
Around 2,500.
2,500. So you have actually 7.5 more. Yeah. And you have only three months. Yeah. Yeah. How would you approach this? How would you speed up your application process?
Well, so I used that approach only for the first like 3 weeks. Um, And when I received the job offer, I decided like, okay, that was like a medium company, and I decided that I can do better. So I wanted to change the approach and to find a job. So my main strategy was to have as many screenings as I could to understand what the recruiters want to hear from me. So what is my best way of introducing myself? So what is the key factor of success while job searching? So I wanted to have as much practice as it possible. But when I received the job offer, I realized that, okay, I'm ready to round two. So I'm ready to the process of finding a job in a bigger companies. And that approach didn't work with those companies, unfortunately. So I did extra, I guess, around 700 applications, but they didn't work. So for 1.5 weeks, I didn't have any screenings at all. And of course, I started to panic out, like, what should I do? How to improve my approach? And that day, I realized, like, I thought, how do HR see my resume? So there are 200 applicants from just one web resource like LinkedIn, and there are tons of them. So how can I increase the possibility of being seen by HRs? And that day, I found out about ATS systems. So it is a system which shows how to. This system helps the recruiters to decrease the amount of time they spend on finding the people with whom they potentially could speak.
Mm-hmm.
And
application, yeah, it's an acronym of application tracking system. And I have a separate video about ATS with ATS professional resume writer. And if you want to learn more about ATS and how it works, yeah, please find a link in the description of this video.
So I bought an ATS scanner, which helped me to understand why I'm not a perfect match for different roles. So it showed the words that you should use to be seen by ATS systems. So I decided to use the ATS in my every application. So before that, I just did the applications, and that took me from 2 minutes to 40 minutes. So that depends on the type of the application. But with the ATS, the process became longer. So
because you
from
need
15,
to adjust each resume for each job position, right?
Yeah, I adjusted for every role, every opportunity I'm doing the application. So that took me from 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And
45
of course,
minutes. Oh, gosh.
that's quite a lot. And of course, there was no way for me to do 10,000 applications anymore. So I started to use that approach, and I realized that, of course, the conversion of this approach is better, but still, because of the less amount of the applications you send, you have much less screenings. So still, it didn't work.
So let me double check. So before buying ATS, you just apply with one resume, and you were able to apply for more position, but had after this, your job offer, you had zero screenings, right? And then you decided to buy ATS. The application process took longer, but you still didn't have enough applications, screenings, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And it was like 2 months ago. It was
1.5 months ago.
April, April 2023, right? Okay.
Correct. So I thought, what can I do to decrease the time I spent on the applications and how I can increase the volume of them. So, but still preserving the conversion rate I've had there that time. So the decision was to hire an assistant. It's a person who can do this job adjusting your resume, because I explained everything about myself to my assistant. We did the dictionary about what Anna is, I put all the information about myself in that description. And I taught the assistant how to do the applications. So we increased the volume of our applications 2 times.
2 times.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was the results were great. So when I started this approach, actually that was like 3 weeks ago, I started to receive tons of screenings. So
Tons
for
of screenings.
example,
Okay.
there was a day when I had 5 screenings with really good companies. For example, Wayfair, as well, Fidelity Investments. So I preserved the conversion, and as well, I increased the volume of the applications. Then I realized that
Perfect. Yeah, just yeah. I really like this approach, and it's super smart and super yeah, it's just super smart to hire an assistant. Where like is your assistant in the US or
no, the
no?
assistant
Okay.
is located in the other
Oh,
country.
okay, another country. Do you and how does it work? So did you share all your credentials and access to your LinkedIn email to the assistant? Is that correct?
Yeah, so I created a new email for job hunting, and I gave all the passwords to her. As well, I gave the password from LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
So because I know this person, and um, but of course you cannot share the LinkedIn password. You can just share the resume and the Glassdoor password, for example. But I decided that I should use the LinkedIn too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's also like important because a lot of application can be done through LinkedIn. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
definitely need to trust this person, right? Because
Yeah.
it's your like personal profile. Yeah, and LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn should do this functionality like editing in YouTube. For example, in my YouTube channel, I have multiple roles. I'm an owner and main admin. I can, for example, delete my videos, but I also have editor. I also content person. I have like I can share like analytics views, whatever role I can create for my folks who work with me. So I think LinkedIn should do the same, like assistant.
Oh, that would be perfect.
So yeah, because like for example, they cannot delete anything because like probably the most horrible things is like deleting the account itself, right? But they can just answer questions
Yeah.
or like respond the like comments in your feed. Yeah.
I think it should be, a new service of LinkedIn.
Yeah,
So
I
a
think
new product line.
yeah, I also need that. I have a lot of people on my LinkedIn, and I really need a lot of time to answer all those messages and comments and everything else. So that would be super helpful. Yeah. So yeah, please do. please, please join LinkedIn.
I can share with you
Yeah,
my assistant.
yeah. Perfect. Okay, so you hired one assistant, and you increase your like screen volumes by multiple times. And you said
Mm-hmm.
recently you had 5 screenings per day, even though
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like that's a lot in new market. And actually, I can notice that the market itself is getting better. Today is June 25th. And I personally noticed that like improving the job market in the US started from the beginning of June. So probably this kind of like overlap as well, that the market is getting better and your assistant is working like in addition to your like time you can allocate to your job search. So I think that these both can contribute to this
Mm-hmm.
success. Okay, 5 screens per day. What's
Mm-hmm.
next?
And so next, I realized that in some companies, fan companies, there is no way to get inside from the street. Like you can't just do the application and be hired. It's the possibility of it is extremely low. So I found a blogger. She's currently working at Google, and she has the same background as I do. And I asked her if she wants to be my mentor, and she agreed. So we have these sessions, and I asked her about the hiring process in the companies, in huge companies. So she collaborated with the HRs, and she shared information that 60% of people they came by because of the referral programs, and only 5%, 5 to 10% people can be hired because of the application from outside web resource like LinkedIn or Monster or whatever. So I was surprised about this information, and I decided, okay, I need an assistant in this as well, and I hired the second assistant. So his main duty is to find the people who have the same background as I do, who, for example, worked at the same company or um, enrolled in the same college. So he writes to those people the messages about, oh wow, can we do the connection? You're great, and so can you tell me more about yourself, about your background, about how did you actually found the job in the United States? What is the equation of the success? And so I used this technique. I found 119 people. So we wrote to 79 of them, and 35 of them answered back. And I received 4 referrals for good companies as well. I received tons of backgrounds of people and tons of tips about job searching. And as well, some of them were very generous, and they wanted to have a talk with me, to have a Zoom call to help me in my position. So that was great, and I thought like, wow, they're brilliant people.
And yeah, this tip is super valuable because finding the right people is essential, and actually building networking in the US, especially if you're new immigrant, super important as well. And it's nice that you mentioned like to find people with the same background, because if you just add like a random folks on LinkedIn from Google, for example, and started asking them to refer to a specific position, they might think that like who is she? Yeah, why is she bothering us? Like, but like finding a people with the same backgrounds, that's super important, because at least you can start like conversation with something that you have in common. I think it's super smart, and it's good advice for everyone who start looking for a job, and maybe started recently looking for a job in the US. Just try to find people with the same background, that and the people that you have something in common. It definitely help you to your job search journey. Yeah, thank you for this advice, Anna.
No, you're welcome. So now I'm working with 3 different assistants. So I hired 3 of them. One is working with the referrals. Second, the other guy, he's working with the companies by using LinkedIn. And the third girl, she's working with so I have the list of the companies. There are 120 companies where I would like the companies of my dream. And I put the roles which they have, and she's working with ATS systems with them.
Yeah, and I really like your approach of practicing before switching to the company you really like to work for. Because yeah, definitely interviewing skills is also a skill that you need to practice. So you practice on the company you maybe don't really like. Yeah, you fail these interviews, but by the time you're gonna have interview with your dream company, you would have a very experienced person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like That's interesting because you're pretty new, pretty fresh in this weird job market, I can say. So what do you think? Why this happens in the US? Why the job search market is so rough?
Oh, well, so I think because of the bureaucracy inside the companies, maybe, I'm not sure. As well, there is no, for example, at Eastern Europe in Russian Federation, if we're speaking about Russian Federation, there will be one main general web source through which you can find a job. You put all the information inside, and then you just can click, 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 and that's all. That's it. So there is no need about like putting information about your gender, your preferences, and so on, your background maybe. So it's easier and you can do it faster. And here, maybe because of the culture, maybe because of the history, you should put all this information about yourself. So what is your skin color and so on, to decrease the diversity. Not that decrease,
Just
to have this
balance.
diversity,
Yeah,
to balance the
yeah, yeah,
diversity.
yeah. And this definitely increase the like kind of time you spent on your application instead of just doing one click on a LinkedIn easy apply. You need to fill out a lot of forms. Yeah, it makes this process. Yeah, this like bureaucracy, it definitely makes a lot of sense here in the US. And also, I'm surprised of the volume of like either job postings or applicants. Is the market is so big that's like, and find the right candidate is so hard for both. For both, for even for company to find a right candidate and for candidate to find a right company. It's really hard because of the high volume of companies and applicants as well. So like super competitive market, and it's definitely super rough, especially now in 2023 when these like all layoffs are happening around. Okay, so let's talk about difficulties. So what difficulties are you currently facing in your job search, apart from that you've already mentioned with long application process? So that's low conversion rate. Anything else you can share?
Yeah, so of course it's language, because in my language I speak more proficiently. I use different professional literature, words from literature. But in English, my English is not so complex as my native language. So this is the first thing, of course, but I think every immigrant faced with this. So it's not a problem for recruiters to hear this, different types of language. The next problem is, so, well, the number of stages you should pass. So the recruiters, of course, the technical interviews, the amount of them are more higher than in Eastern Europe. As well, the culture. So of course, it's not a difficulty for me, but still, it's a difference what you feel when you pass the job interviews. So in America, recruiters never give you a feedback, like a negative feedback. They say only in a positive tones, like, oh, you were so perfect, but how can you improve something if you're perfect? So it's nearly impossible to find out about your cons and pros as well when you're speaking with an American recruiter. So you gave this suggestion about how to ask the recruiters. So you can, it's better for you to tell about this.
I think I would maybe start with like, I agree with you. Getting feedback, it's hard here, but to get feedback about yourself, you can hire a mentor, for example. That's a good options to get a feedback about your interview skills. Also, if you don't have money, that's also like common sense to ask your friends or support groups, or for example platform for practicing interviews like Prompt, Stellar Peers, etc. There are multiple platforms where you can exchange feedback with the same folks. So you interview someone and someone provides you feedback and vice versa. So that's also the way how you can get feedback. But this is pretty isolated. So when you ask like your mentor or your like friend, they're not part of the company. They don't know exactly what companies are looking for. And this makes this process even harder. So that's what I use for myself and also recommend to my friends is to ask at the end of the interview. You have a section to ask for. You have an opportunity to ask a question for your recruiter or hiring manager or the person you have interview with, and you can ask the question: do you have any concern that I'm a good fit for this position? Or it's better maybe to have it even open-ended, like which concerns do you have that I'm a good fit for this role? Something like that. So you can ask them to provide you feedback right on the interview. And usually based on my experience, recruiters provide this feedback very easily. They said, okay, we are looking for someone with specific culture fit. Yeah, we are looking for someone who fits best for our culture. Yeah, or we are looking for someone more experienced or with specific domain expertise. They don't provide you like specific, like, oh, you Anna, you should improve that one. Yeah, they don't do that, but at least you know. So if their culture fit mismatch, it's not about you, it's about the company. They are looking for something. Yeah, if they are looking for someone with domain expertise, you know, okay, it's hard for me to compete with guys with this specific domain expertise, and I don't. So like my position is weaker at this in this company. So that makes me like feel that, oh, Anna, yeah, you should not kind of rely on this job. You'll probably get a negative feedback, but this makes me feel, okay, domain expertise matter a lot. So maybe at this time I need to apply for the company that match my domain expertise, or maybe I should maybe explain more. Like, for example, they said, oh, we are looking for someone with this domain expertise, and you have this domain expertise, but you didn't just show this. This is an opportunity for you to show this domain expertise as well. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to add, like, I had this like experience in my university, for example. So something like that. I think that's a good way to get feedback. But I agree with you, without getting feedback, it's really hard. It's really hard to move forward. You actually live in the limbo without understanding what's going on, why I'm rejected again and again, again and again, what I should do. Like this, like kind of ruin your mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. And it's a great advice. I've used this this sentence about which concerns do you have about me having this job opportunity or moving forward with you. Like 1 week ago with the recruiter, so we were supposed to have only 15 minutes of the conversation. But when I asked this question, I received the feedback like, I think that you don't have enough B2B experience. And I said, whoa, let's stop here. So I have a lot of B2B experience actually. And we have had extra 30 minutes of the conversation. And 2 days ago, I passed the second and the third round of the interview with them. So I hope it was lost. And they said that I'm a great match. And so I'm hoping right now for receiving a new job offer. So yeah, that advice really would help me.
So that's cool. So yeah, this question actually helped you already a lot, to move forward with this company. So initially they didn't even notice your experience, or maybe you didn't show that properly. And that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right. So let's talk about your job offer that you declined recently. So can you please share why you decided to decline this job offer in March 2023. Yeah, and
Yeah.
each job offer is essential, is crucial, and you decline this job offer. And what happened after you declined that?
So there were different reasons why I decided to decline it. The first reason was that it was fully remote. I know that a lot of employees they are dreaming about the remote job, but I don't because I need the people, I need the office, I need to feel the culture to hear as much language as I can. So I wanted to have the hybrid or on-site role, and this was remote. The second reason was that it was unexpectedly fast. So I received that job offer too fast, so in 2 weeks. And I mentioned that my process was supposed to be in 5 months. So I realized that, okay, I can do better. And I declined the job offer. And that was on Friday. So I wrote a message like, sorry, and those guys, they were super open, like they were extremely good people. They wrote me a lot of messages like, Anna, you're a genius. We would like to work with you. So I was hooked with their company. So when I declined, I feel bad. Like, oh my God, maybe that was the last job offer in my life and I declined it. So, and the next week, it was without any screenings at all. So I mentioned in the beginning of our interview about this period of time when I decided to change my strategy of searching the job. So I thought like, okay, I have problems here. So what can I do? How can I fix the situation? So I wrote them back like, hello guys, you mentioned some interesting project. Can you tell me more about this? But they didn't answer. So um, yeah, so it was a lot of hard feelings. I had a lot of bad emotions for a week, but then I realized that okay, I just need to keep forward, keep what I'm doing. So now I think on the positive about this because I changed the approach, found a lot of different tips, and started to having job interviews with good big tech companies which have their on-site or hybrid roles. So yeah, that was a good decision to decline that offer, but it was hard as well.
Yeah. But I believe that you should follow your gut feeling because if you don't want to work remotely, that a lot of people do, I know that. Yeah. So I think that if you had started working for this company, you would have been like maybe feel sad, frustrated of working remotely, and it's still better to find the job that you really like. And I think hearing yourself, listening to yourself, that's super important for this job search. And do not just get any opportunity that you have. And I bet that this decline in the job interviews that you have right after that, it's not because you declined the offer. Yeah, that's because the market is fluctuating all the time. And if we talk about March and April, I think that's the worst month in the job market, because I personally had like 1 week I have a lot of interviews, 1 week I have like zero interviews, like a lot of recruiters reaching out to me, then like no one reach out to me. So it's just like ups and downs all the time. So but March, April, yeah, I think that is just definitely the worst month. So and yeah, I'm glad that you're having more and more interviews right now, and you will definitely find your dream company and like dream product, and you would go to the office and hang out with people, because I agree, I really like going to the office. So yeah, that's.
So the problem when you have these job interviews when you're an immigrant and you're new on the market is that usually, so for the first couple of months or weeks, so you don't understand your position on the market. You don't understand what you are worth for, or so is it easy to pursue the recruiters about your background and your education, they're good. So for example, we were talking about the difficulties on the job market. So I would like as well to mention that in Eastern Europe market, when you say like I've enrolled. So I had the education at Higher School of Economics, and I worked at Yandex. It's just this company with the same products and product culture, and so the culture as well as Google. So there will be very easy for you to find a new job because every recruiter know everything about the Higher School of Economics and as well about Google. But here in America, it's very hard to pursue the people you're speaking with about your background. So that's your background is good for the role. So of course, when I declined that job offer, I thought like, okay, so I did it. I pursued someone that I'm good for this, but if it will, can I do this next time? So can I repeat this or not? So that was the reason again of my panic attack for a week. But then I realized that yes, I did this one time, so I can do it multiple times in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. So talking about future, what's your plan for the future apart from keep applying and using your strategy we discussed before? Anything specific and anything else you want to do?
So yeah, I would like to keep applying using the ATS referral programs and my assistants. As well, I had some couple of final interviews last week, so I'm waiting for the offers maybe. So
Oh,
I will stop the job hunting process, but I'm not sure, of course. So keeping learning the tips about this market, posting it on Instagram again, and communicating with the people who are in the same position as me right now.
cool. Are you going to keep doing your blog about job search in the US if you get a job offer?
So, well, it's a complicated question. I guess yes, but it would be so strange if I would have a job offer. It's the reason why I don't have to have a job offer because how can I continue to do my blog, my blog career if I would have a job? So I will be supposed to stop it. But still, I have two different opportunities, I guess. One is to continue job hunting, but just for fun. And the second one is just about speaking more about job, the process of the job, in the US market, about how do people receive their salaries.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the difference between hybrid or on-site? So what are the tips to understand the culture and so on? So I
And
think about
actually
this
about
right
the
now.
life in the US, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also
Yes.
important not just like how to apply for this position and
Mm-hmm.
hug the job search process, like this market, how to hug it, but about like I don't know regular life. The life is in the office is if it's possible to record something in the office, that would be also interesting. I think people who don't live in the US are wondering about the life here and job here, like offices, how everything is organized. Yeah, like a subway station. You live in Boston. I know that you would probably take a subway to get to the office. So this is also
Mm-hmm.
like interesting part. So cool, cool. So my last question about advice. What advice can you give to immigrants who are currently looking for a job in the US or maybe like plan to do that, especially their
So
first job?
for
First
the
job.
first job,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I think.
My advice is to uh, keep going, never stop, be more positive and open to this process, and feel about it more like it's a game than a life-changing decision or process. So because it's extremely exhausting sometimes, so it's better to stay more positive.
I agree. I agree. And I have the same approach of the job search. This is a marathon. So you need to kind of split your efforts on the long-term period. So do not do sprints like, I will apply for 1,000 application today. Yeah, and we'll be burned out like in a week of doing that. So, okay, yeah, if I need to apply 10,000 application, I need to do like, I don't know, 100 like per week, like approximately. Yeah. and
Mm-hmm.
do that like as a really like game and like nice journey. Like, okay, it's time to apply for 10 positions today between meetings. So yeah, yeah, I agree. It's super easy to be burnout during this job search, being exhausted, feeling frustrated, especially when you get rejected and again for multiple months. Yeah, it's really tough. But join also, I can recommend to join support groups. There are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
support groups for job seekers. You can find easily on internet. There are like a bunch of them, and for different even like categories of people, for like based on their origin, based on their positions, based on their, I don't know, uh, like interests. Yeah, and you can be together and feel that you're not alone. So yes, it's not your problem. Yeah, that's the problem of the market itself. Like a lot of people are struggling right now. So
Yeah.
don't take it like personal.
And it's a great advice to expand, to expand your social network. So the people who are in the same position as you, and you feel they can feel your pain and your
Yeah,
excitement about the job searching. So it's extremely important to find those people with whom you can speak with.
yeah,
So again, it's about the referral programs as well.
I agree. I agree. And also, I like your idea of keep interviewing. You mentioned that this is for fun, but I think just to keep your like kind of fit, it's also
Mm-hmm.
important. Like, for example, the market is super unstable, and like today you're hired, tomorrow you're fired. Yeah, you never know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. So, and start interviewing and like being a professional interviewer, actually, it's important skill. So it's better not to lose it and keep interviewing at least, I don't know, one interview per week, not as intense as you do right now, but just like to keep in shape. Have one interview per week, and maybe you can get better opportunity. Yeah, and who knows? Who knows? Like, so that's why I think that's a great approach, to just keep interviewing after you get a job offer. Never stop. Yeah, keep doing, and yeah, don't don't be afraid of like changing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you
Cool.
should always be fit. Keep your
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
about this.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Anna, for sharing such incredible tactics and hacks about the job search in the US in 2023. Please share your tactics in comments below. I really want to read it. Maybe we can have an interview with you if you have some incredible tactics as well. If you like this video, please show your support by hitting the like button and sharing it with friends who are actually looking for a job right now. If you have any further questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more valuable content. If you need assistance with refining your resume, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, or preparing for the job interviews, you can schedule a session with me at annanaumova.com. Once again, thank you, Anna, and thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to having you to join me next week.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for the conversation. It was glad for me.
Thank you.